Back for another terrific Terry Tuesday at Parx after a struggle session on Monday, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of an odd day over there. You know, yesterday was an interesting day because I went back and kind of reviewed everything, and it was like the king of comfort zone yesterday. All high-rated comfort zone horses,
wow.
even those long shots that came in were like the top-rated or some of the highest-rated comfort zone stocks. Yeah, stocks. That's what we're talking about here. Horses, folks. We can do a stock show too if you want. Maybe we'd have a little bit more luck than we did yesterday. But we'll get back at it today. Get back on the horse. That was a terrible pun. That was indeed intended. Good morning, Tafum. How are you? Terry's got his best bet right there. Number one, Smoke Wagon. And then we got Private Russ. Terry's going up against Ian in the sixth. Yeah. Well, we'll see how that works out. I'll take my boy Terry any day. I talked to that other cat once before. It wasn't at the best. But anyway, today's free track of the day is going to be Mahoning Valley at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There's a link in the description. Wherever you're watching, kindly hit the retweet button if you're on X. Hit the like button if you're on YouTube or anywhere else. And share our content. We would greatly appreciate that. Hello, Scary Creations. Brutal, yes. But you know, a lot of them was those high. I went back and looked, and so many of them were the top or one of the top two comfort zone horses. Kind of crazy. They got to the front and managed to stay there. All right, Terry, today, well, let's see if we can be a little less brutal starting in race number 1 at the Ben Salem track.
All right. In race 1, it's a 1 1/8 claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse $21,000. It's for 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Yeah, speaking of never running races, they haven't really run any races at this 1 1/8 there. So in 2025, so really no data to share with you in regards to the profile of a winner. We still have data to share with you in terms of over 1,000 simulations to know who's got the best chance to get to the lead. That's in this column. Hey, we talked about that comfort zone, how likely the horses are today to get a race that matches their best performance. Be on the lookout for Mick Magic. If that's the case today, Terry, who's got the gas when the gates open today?
Well, all of them show speed except for that 8. The 3 and 7 have the most, and they could go head-to-head, but it's really who knows on this race. And then the 3 is got the overlay from 9 to 2 to 12 to 1. The 5 has an overlay from 6 to 1 to 8 to 1, and 8 has an overlay from 5 to 1 to 15 to 1. All but the 1, 4, and 9 have par plus numbers, and all but the 4 show C zones.
Yeah, some other data we'll get to what it means. Here we have a race shape. 3 and 11 want to be forward. Everybody else middle back. That should favor some speed in here. If you're a pace handicapper, well, look at all this early pace in here. Terry, you mentioned it could be contentious. It looks like it could be all right. The late speed belongs to Fenwick Jack. Boy, that's a pretty big aggressive late speed there. 10 points. That one's anywhere remotely close to the front coming out of that turn. It might not be able to hold that one off. Top 4 total pace horses usually produces the winner, Terry. I almost never have the one on the bottom on the top of my picks. I do today. Who's at the top of your picks?
I like the number 1 horse, Clancy O'Toole. He won his last race and switches to high percentage winning trainer. He has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 2, Lucky Running Cats, my second choice, finished second in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 10, Fenwick Jack, is my third choice. He ran second versus Tupper in his last race, drops in class today. He has the highest speed figure, highest last speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then my long shot is 5, Darvish. He ran third in versus Simmer in his last race. No additional bets in this race for me.
I'm going to go with the bottom of the barrel top total pace horse. Really aggressive late pace edge. Did run a speed figure 5 points higher than the next closest horse last out. Run that same race. Everybody else has to come up, but that one's got to come down. And like I said, get off to a little better start, and they won't be able to hold that one up. Hey, what's up? Long shots to get started here. Probably on the lead. That was the place to be yesterday, Terry. Let's see if that's the case today. Would have liked a little stronger C-zone, though. Clancy O'Toole, there, 1 horse in there, Terry. Consistent performer. Another one that should be forwardly placed. And finally, hey, number 11, Hay River. I got all the hay horses in here. I'm surprised you don't have all the hay horses in here. Something's backwards. This one's pretty solid off the bench. Second race at Parx. Should be better than the first one after the horse came up. I-95 from Gulfstream Park. No additional bets for me as well. We talk about no additional bets because we have $100, Benny, and the bets that we can spend any which way we like. Terry likes to load it all up on his best bet. I loaded all mine up around one horse today, too. I hope I'm right. We'll see if that's the case. If we're looking for some value in this race, Terry, well, let's see where we can find some. The looks like the 3-horse, Hey, What's Up? We have that at 9-2. It's 22-1. This might be an appropriate race. I think I'm going to do something here, Terry. Could I do it? Nah, I'm not. This one looks to me like a great race to maybe do an exacta or trifecta box because we're really outside of the one. If that one runs off the board, everybody else is pretty high odds. Where else do we get some value? The 5-horse, 12-1. We added at 6-1, so twice the odds. Mick Magic, we got that at 5-1. That's that top C-zone horse there, Terry. That one is 34-1, 7 times.
Wow.
Yeah, I think this would be a race where you might consider putting a trifecta bet in, folks.
Well, if I was doing a pick 5, I'd go all in this race.
The 11, 6-1 versus 7-1. The 10-horse getting bet down, but it doesn't look like it wants to go into the gates. They're trying to load that one now, and it's being difficult, to put it mildly, but they finally were able to corral that one inside the green gates. Let's see if that horse can indeed get off to a decent start and find its way home with those late legs. Well, while we wait, when the show is over, if you head on over to horseracingtoday.net, right there in the middle of the screen, just like yesterday, it'll say Parx Racing Picks live stream, except for January 28th. Click on that, and when you do, it'll take you over to the comments that we have, Terry and I, as well as a replay of the show. On YouTube, if you click the More button, then you will see every race will be timestamped. So you can come back and watch every single race that we talk about, relook at the data, relook at our rationale, and either have a good laugh or hopefully a good pick. And then while you're at horseracingtoday.net, right there, you can support the show. Look great with some HRT gear. Click that button right there. Bang. It'll take you to here, our shop. All sorts of things to choose from. Hopefully the couple days, right? Punxsutawney Phil comes out. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we get some early spring weather this year. So get yourself a T-shirt and a hat. Look fantastic where you're at the track or wherever you're at. Give my best cat in the hat impression there, Terry. Dr. Seuss. All right. Let's see what we got going here. Hey, Jose. Saludos from Chicago and somewhere in California for Terry. Good to see you. Fast Payday, number 4, being Scary Creations' pick for this race. And let's see how they actually go about running their business. Well, they are running. And it looks like you got a trio of horses. I can't tell who's up there, though, to be honest with you. They're not posting the numbers. You have the 3-horse up in there. Hey, What's Up? That was one that we thought would get to the lead. And Hey, What's Up is to the lead. October Bliss out there challenging him. They're running kind of quick, though, 23-4. That's probably a little bit too fast for this crew, but you never know, right? The 11-horse, that's in the mix, too. And there, Hey River. That one was a little bit of an overlay, too. Outside of that, the 1-horse at 4-5 as your favorite. The 7-horse has taken over control as they made it through they slowed down a little bit, 48 seconds. A lot of times that works at Parx. You can get your way around the track at that level. The 7 is on the lead as they make their way through the turn, although the 3-horse does look like it has a little bit of an inside edge. It does look like they're all kind of bunching up a little bit. As they make their way through the turn, the 3 and the 7 continue to set the tone. Looks like the 3-horse is a little bit of edge on the 7. Those two look like they're going to duke it out. Who's that back there? The 2-horse? What is that? The 2-horse. Terry's 2 getting involved. Looks like everybody's going to get involved right now. Around the bend they come. It's going to go. Looks like the 1-horse is going to take the lead there. Here comes the 10 up on the outside, that Buffalo Girl. Does it have enough late legs to get up into there? I don't know that it will. Let's see if it does indeed. It's going to come in the second, I think. Although you got a whole bunch of, the 5-horse might get in the second. I don't know. It's going to be a mess. You got Scary Creations 4 trying to get in there. Looks like it's going to go 1, 2, 10. Terry, looks like you had the trifecta cold.
All right.
Yeah, you should have bet it. I think that would have been a good one right there, right?
It would have been, yeah.
There you go. For a lucky straight, C-rated. How do you get rated for horse racing? I don't know how that works. Race number 2, Terry. That's next on our list of things to do. So your thing to do is to tell us the stakes.
6.5 furlongs, and it's for maiden $40,000 purse for registered Pennsylvania maidens, 3-year-olds.
For 6.5 furlongs, the typical horse that gets the job done has, well, so far closers have done well, but still a bunch of them, half of them went wire to wire. So, it looks like you either want to be on the front or be in the back. Just don't be in the middle. So far, the rail has had a little bit of a discount. 2 and 3 were the best places to be. 4 through 7, a bit of a discount. 8 and out goes back to fair. A lot of horses in here, Terry, in early in their careers, but a lot of them to pick from. If you're going to go for some speed, it does look like one's faster than the rest.
That's right. That 8 shows the most speed of everybody, and it should get to the quarter pole first, as long as she gets a good break and gets out of the gate fine. The 3 has an overlay of 5 to 2, or 4 to 5 to 4 to 1, and the 4 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 9 to 2. 3 and 4 have par plus numbers only, and 10, 12, 9, and 11 have the C zones, and the 8 has a fairly decent Q30.
Yeah, that Q30 is the Quirin points. It has 30% of all the available Quirin points in this race, according to James Quinn in his book, The Complete Handicapper. If it gets over 30, look out. It's also potentially a lone E horse over here. If the 8 can get the lead, look out. Could grow in confidence. This group wants to close. So far, these 4 have not been within 5 lengths of the leader at the finish line. The 1 and 5 today, they make their debuts. Of the horses with some experience, the 8 horse is the quickest of the bunch when the gates open. Look out, that low E could work out to its advantage. The end of the race, if a closer gets the job done, it's going to be Ginger's. Ginger says chill. Well, that one's 3 lengths. Every 5 points equals 1 length. That's another one with some late legs. We saw the 10 kind of try to jog its way into the end right there in the first race. You have the 3 and the 4, Terry, then everybody else. So maybe just go 1, 5, the 2 first-time starters, 3 and 4, and you can get a winner out of that. What do you think?
I'm going to go with the 7, Joyful Joyce. She ran second versus Tougher in her last race, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning jockey, and they added Lasix. And then I'm going to go with the 2 as my second choice.
It doesn't look like there's a 2 in this race, Terry.
Oh, did they scratch the 2?
Let me look and see. Race number 2. There is a 2 in here. I don't know. Maybe we pulled the wrong one. I think, there's no 3 in here. Well, that explains it. All right. I ditched the wrong horse. My apologies, folks.
All right. Well, anyway, the 2, Queen Khaleesi, she ran second versus similar to her last race. The distance will not be a problem, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. The 4, Wicklow Puka, is my third choice. She ran second in her debut race and then finished 4th in her last start, and then comes in from Penn National after having a 4 furlong bullet workout on January 14th, and Lasix is added. And then I like the 5 as my long shot. She's a first-time starter. Breeding suits today's sprint distance, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play the very first Miami Vice, Don Johnson pick 4. I'm going to use the 1, 2, 4, 5 with the 1, 4, 7, 8 with the 1, 5, 8, 9 with the 2, 4. I believe that's a $48 ticket.
All right. Well, I got to make a couple of quick changes in mine right here. So let's take a look at what I'm going to do. I got to take the 3 out of there. So I'm going to put the 4 in its place. So let me go about doing that. So 1, 7, 8, and 4. And honestly, let's go. So 1, 4, 7, 8. All right, there we go. That's how I'm going to do it. Because the 2 horse, I had the 3 in there. 3 ain't running. That makes it difficult, right? Yeah. For me, I'm going to go with the 1 horse in here as my top choice. Butter Be Quick. It is a first-timer. Back bullets. Not a whole lot of other horses in here have hit par. The 7 horse, Joyful Joyce. Terry's pick as well, dropping from a non-graded stakes race. Maybe the first time Lasix to help get the job done. She's Justified. Is that lone E-horse in there, Terry? And should be out on the front. And then finally, the 4-horse. That is our simulation favorite. We saw it also part of the top total pace picture. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. Terry, I'm going to go 1478 over to 147 over the 19 over to 2348. Mine too is a $48. Don Johnson, Miami Vice, pick 4. Let's see what our picks are for race number 3, another maiden claiming race.
All right. Yes, it's 1 mile and 70 yards. A maiden claiming $10,000 claiming price, purse $19,000 for maidens, 4-year-olds and upward.
$170 at Parx tells you that you really want early speed. About a third of the horses that win the race to the first call win the race to the final call. There's a little bit of a rail discount for Sawatusulo, whatever. 2 and 3 play under par. 4 through 7. That's the best place to be. 8 and out, a little bit of a discount. Terry, tell us all about the early goings in this one.
Well, you can see they all have speed, but that 7 shows the most speed. Should get to that quarter pole first if the jockey makes the right decisions, gets out of that gate first. And then that 1 has an overlay from 3 to 2 to 5 to 1. 1, 7, 8, 9, and 10 have par plus numbers, and all but the 2 have C zones.
So par plus, I mentioned we'll talk a little bit about some of the other data. 72 is the average winning speed figure for these conditions. And that means when we did our simulations 451 times, the one I can't pronounce, Saltuluso, maybe, I don't know. 451 times out of 1,000, it produced a speed figure of at least 72. Our race shape for this one, again, we find another lone E here in Nemo. Anyway. 1, 8, and 10, they want to close this whole group right there. They've not been within a handful of the winner when it got to the finish line. So this usually does favor early speed. Josh does look like it has the most early speed, so maybe it finishes within 5 lengths of the leader today. A little bit of a gap down to everybody else. So Josh should be on the lead today, folks. Texas Air Force, along with Sautuloso, they'll be coming harder than anybody else at the end. They have about a length and a half advantage over Marine Patrol. Top 4 horses in this case, Terry, are the 1, the 7, the 8, and the 10. You have a 10-point drop from there. The winner probably, I'd say high probability, more often than not, 7 out of 10 in that group. Who leads your group?
I like number 8, Texas Air Force. He's got a trainer who wins 18% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route, and the distance won't cause any problems. I like the 1 as my second choice, has the highest last speed rating, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He's actually tied with another horse. Then I like 4, Nemo. He has best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He's tied with the 1 horse, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Josh is my long shot, has a high percentage winning jockey, and was well bet in his debut. No additional bets in this race.
So I think Josh has just a little too much early speed for everybody else in this race. And there's really not a ton in here. Second race improvement for Josh, and he gets the job done. The 4 horse, the 1 horse, Saltuloso, yeah, I have to pronounce that 50,000 times, of course. Did run the best speed figure last time out. It was 4 points clear of the next closest one. Should improve on that number in the second start after a layoff. The 4 horse, Nemo. We have the top C-zone horse. Again, that worked out yesterday. Has a par race, one of the few that's got that done, and has Paco. That combination should be good enough versus this crew. And then finally, I'm going to go with the 10 horse, Marine Patrol. That one is a fairly consistent performer at a level close to winning here, and will close in the end. So maybe catches a piece of the exacta trifecta at the end, maybe superfecta. Race 4, Terry. Did I do any bets there? Oh, I do. I have a $10 double, 1, 4, 7, and I'm going to single up the 9 in the next leg. So a little bit of foreshadowing as to which one I like there. But before we talk about why I like the 9, Terry, let's talk about what they're running for.
It's 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, purse 21,000 for registered Pennsylvania bred fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
They run fast at 6 furlongs, Terry. 41% of the time, the horse that wins the race early wins the race late. Post positions, really no deal makers, no deal breakers in that list, Terry. So who's going to get to the lead and have the best chance to go wire to wire in race 4?
Well, it looks like that 5, 6, and 2 all have pretty similar speed numbers, and they could go head-to-head to that quarter pole. The 9 has an overlay of 4 to 5 to 3 to 1. All but the 2 have par plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
61%. The only one over 50% there on Emily's on Fire. Let's see what Emily is on Fire has to offer here. Well, you got a wall of speed here, Terry. You better be fast if you're going to be a part of this crew. These 3 right here sit behind. You got a lone E, a lone P right there with the Bruno Barber girl. Keep an eye on that one. As far as the early speed goes, you got a left arrow horse over here. Far too foxy. Look out for that one. Then the 5 horses in the mix. A little bit of a drop off there to Emily's on Fire, but here's where Emily's on Fire has the big edge. Going to sit probably 3rd or 4th. Has that, what is that, a 2-length advantage on everybody else down the stretch. Also has the top total pace, 7 points clear of the next closest horse, and then a 5-point drop off. Maybe the 9 to 5 and a couple of other things in there, Terry. What do you say?
Well, I like the number 9. Emily's on Fire. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. And the 5 Treasure Piece is my second choice. Ran second in her last race, has a good trainer. Number 8, Angel of Harlem, drops in class today. Her early running speed running style will help her chances, and she has a good trainer and jockey. And then number 1, Sunny Side Up, finished 3rd versus similar in her last race, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. She's my long shot. I'm going to play the 2nd Miami Vice, Don Johnson, pick 4, 1, 5, 8, 9 with the 2, 3, 4, 8 with the 1, 7 with the 6, 7, 9, a $48 ticket.
I'm going to start with the 9, Emily's on Fire. Last race, 5 points better than everybody else on a speed gun. We saw it is better than the length and the top total pace than the rest of the field. Has that really strong, aggressive late pace edge. And it's going to be really close to the pacer. I just think this race sets up perfectly for Emily's Fire today. If not, Sunny Side Up, the 1 horse, last time out, ran some similar fractions despite going longer. That's always a sign of improvement in my book. Angel of Harlem, the 8 horse, my 3rd choice. Early speed and fade in its last race. Going to drop by more than 2 lengths today. So maybe hangs on to that speed here. And then finally, I'm going to go with Lady Annabella. The 6 horse could be on the lead, has the highest Z-zone. And that combination, as I mentioned, worked very well yesterday. And in the opening race, we saw the horse get to the lead and really never relinquish it. Race 5 finishes the first half of this terrific Terry Tuesday card. Terry, take it away.
All right, so in race 5, we're going 1 mile and 70 yards, and it's actually a claiming race, and it's a claiming price of $10,000, and then $26,000 purse for 4-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since October 28th. Claiming races for $8,000 or less, not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
On the 9 horse, going back, any recent workouts on race number 4 for the 9? They're always working out. Sometimes they just don't publish them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Emily's on Fire. Well, you have a January workout right there. You have a couple of them, actually.
They're okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't really see a lot of fast ones back in here, though, either, Terry. It looks like they're pretty much on par for this horse. You had a pretty good one there. We'll see if it can get the job done. Emily's on Fire. I'm banking on it today, folks, because I put a big chunk on there. So here's my 25 to win, and I'm going to go with a $5 exact key box. I forgot to mention that before. All right. So race number 5, we talked about what they're running for, right, Terry?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Now we have to talk a little bit about 1 mile and 70 yards. Going to horses a third of the time on the lead. There's a little bit of a rail discount for Jocko Hare. 33% go wire to wire. Rail discounts 2 and 3 under par, 4 through 7 the best, 8 and out get discounted as well. I'm all over the place, Terry. Help me straighten it out with which one's going to get to the front.
Well, the 1 and the 10 inside and outside horses have the most speed, although all of them show some speed. But the 1 and the 10 get out cleanly. They could go head to head to that quarter pole. The 7 has an overlay from 7-1 to 10-1. The 8 has an overlay from 5-2 to 8-1. And then all of them have par plus and all have C zones.
Yes, you always have to fear Mikel Sanchez, especially when he's teaming up with Jamie Ness. Terry, our race shape here, well, it's pretty balanced. Got a lot of versatility in with these 5 horses. So half the field can pretty much be anywhere on the track. 2 horse, potentially a lone E if it can get to the lead. That doesn't look like it'll be the case. Looks like Level Up and Jocko O'Hara, they'll be on the front. I'd probably give the 1 the edge over there. The 2 might make the 10 work on the outside. Could be a difficult trip. Can get stuck wide. Valentine, that one does have the most late speed, but pretty competitive between this quartet of horses there. Our top total pace picture, very competitive spot here, Terry. You have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 horses within 9 points. This one's going to be a one that requires a good trip. Who gets the best trip, Terry?
I like the 4 Valentine. He's won 2 races in a row, goes for a hat trick, and has a high percentage winning trainer. Then I like the 2 Rondon Sorkisi, or he is another entry that has won 2 races in a row and goes for a hat trick also. And he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. You better be joking. The 3 is my third choice, finished 3rd versus similar in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 8 is my long shot Assembly Point. He won his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets here.
I have the 4 horse Valentine as my first selection too, Terry. Smashing at Parx in his last 2 and just destroying the competition. 3 consecutive speed figure increases. That is a 15% alpha angle, according to Barry Meadows, who has donuts with our good friend, Private Ross. Number 3, you better be joking. That's what everybody thinks after we put our picks out there, Terry. Does have some solid works getting ready for today. First up at Parx so far, 5 out, 2 wins and 2 thirds. So does like the track. Ron Don Scorsese, if he can get to the lead, a lot of trouble. But you talked about it, Private Ross. Mikel Sanchez, Jamie Ness. That is absolutely a dynamic duo that cannot be overlooked in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. And this horse has been cracking ass too, Terry, winning the last 2 huge, making easy work of everybody else. And then Assembly Point, the 8 horse, that one is our simulation favorite, it looks like there, Terry. First up, and does have a fast bullet work getting prepped for this first race after a layoff. Again, remember, as we make our way to the second half of the card today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, Mahoning Valley is the free track. There are links wherever you can find us. Make sure you use those links so they know where it is that you're coming from. Let's move on, Terry, to the second half of the 10 race card today at Parx.
All right, it's a 1 mile and 70 yards, optional claiming race, $25,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to be claimed. And it's for 4-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of $25,000 or less, and which have never won a race other than a maiden claiming, or which have never won 4 races or a claiming price of $25,000 or haven't won 4 races.
We're being told in the last race, race 5, that you better consider VineJet in your picks. Number 9, you have whatchamacallit, you got Kendrick on here. They did mention the last time Kendrick came in and ran that bad boy. Won by 6, did come off a poor performance, but these last 3, boy, that's going to have to really improve on that drop right there, because those last, it's just getting worse and worse for that one. But, it did show a little better early pace last time out. So, hey, you never know. That can be a sign. Of course, according to Craig Milkowski, that's coming into form. All right. And Liam likes it over there at E-Ponies as well. So they're going to run $170 on this one, right, Terry?
Yeah, they are. I just didn't I go through it? Yeah, I went through that.
You did. I just want to make sure so I can get the right profile of the winner. We've talked about it a bunch of times already. A third of them wire to wire, a little bit of a rail discount, 2 and 3 under par. 4 through 7, that's the best place to be. 8 and out, a little bit of a discount as well. So speed does matter, Terry, and it looks like you got a bunch of it right there next to each other in the middle.
Yeah, let's see. We've got all of them got speed, as you can see, but the four horses from the number 2 spot to the 5 have the most speed. It's really an anyone's guess race for far as I'm concerned. And then the overlays are the 2 horse is 3-1 to 6-1, and the 3 horse is 2-1 to 5-1. All but the 5 and 9 have far plus numbers, and all of them show C zones.
Indeed, the way they're going to set up on the track today, at least the way they want to set up, again, most of the horses middle back should give a little bit of edge to somebody that can get forward. Let's see the most. Well, you have a pretty competitive start here. You have a bunch of them within 7 points of each other. What is that? 7 horses. And some horses are going to get caught wide, so maybe shy away from the outside speed unless they can rate and come in at the end. Smoke Wagon will be doing that about a length quicker than everybody else. Should get a good trip, middle of the pack, be able to use that 5-point late speed advantage as long as it doesn't get boxed in. It's also got a 5-point total pace advantage. So that one should win by a length. Terry hopes it wins by more than that so he can get back on track with his best bets.
Yeah, I did have a loss yesterday, and my best bet of the day was going for my 7th one in the row. So let's start a new streak with the 1 horse, Smoke Wagon. He finished in the money in 8 out of 9 starts, winning 3 of those races, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. 7 Traffic Master, second choice, finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race. He has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Prince Colton, the 5, is my 3rd choice. He likes Parx racing. He's been in the money 90% of the time, winning 30% of the starts, and he likes the distances. He's been in the money 80% of the time, winning 40% of those starts. Social Awkward, the 3, is my long shot. He won his last race by 16 lengths, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to bet 20 to win on number 1, and I'm going to bet a $5 exacta box 1, 5, and 7. I'm going to bet a $10 exacta 1 on top with the 3, 5, 7. And then I bet a $2 daily double the 1 with the 4, 6, 7, and 9.
I'm going to start with the 1, 2, Smoke Wagon, and after that, we differ a little bit. That one has the top total pace of a length better than everybody else in this field. Did show some improvement in its internals at the beginning and the end of its last race. My only concern in here is this one likes to hang a little bit. At Parx 6 times out, did win one of them, but finished second 5 times. Number 2, Ira the Icon, Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera. If it reruns its last race, folks, you can wrap this one up. That horse will be in the winner's circle as it hit triple digits on the speed gun. Number 5, Prince Colton. First up after a layoff, likes to Parx racetrack, in the money 9 of 10 races and 4 of 5 at the distance. And then I got Traffic Master, the 7. That is your morning line favorite. You got Jamie Ness, Mikel Sanchez again, class dropper, but really not the biggest fan of Parx. 12 times out, no wins, 5 seconds and a third. So the quintessential Tom horse, where it's going to win, nah, but in the money, yeah. Speaking of Tom, on Friday, we're going to do Hong Kong, Shot 10 again for Foreign Fridays. Tomorrow, Terry and I, and Thursday, Terry and I, we're going to do the championship meet in sunny, warm Miami, really Hollandale, Florida, for Gulfstream Park. And to make sure you don't miss any of the sunshine action, Terry, what do you do?
Well, you subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the little bell so it notifies you about what programs are coming up. Copy that link at the bottom and share it with all your friends, relatives, neighbors, so they can come and check us out too. And then go to our social sites such as Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, Blue Sky, and Twitter at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up and a like, and helps us out quite a bit. And then keep these comments and picks coming during the show. We enjoy to get them. And that also helps out with our algorithms.
Absolutely does. Looks like I don't think we have enough time, Terry, to make our way through to race number 3. Race number 2 is about to make their way perhaps to the starter's gate. So let's just take a look at some of the odds here and what might be some overlays. Let's see. I don't have the 2 horse in here, but it was 6 to 1. I just put out the wrong horse on accident. I meant to take out the 2, but instead the 2. I meant to take out the 3, but instead I took out the 2. It's too bad because that one would have been a good one to play. The 6 or the 2 horse though was 6 to 1 morning line. It is now 16 to 1, so maybe a little bit of overlay there. The 6 and the 7 right now, they're your kind of co-favorites, and there's really the only one that looks like it's a little overlay, Terry, is the Wicklow Puka, whatever that is. I don't know. It looks like we're going to have a little bit of time here to kill. So, again, free picks, guaranteed tip sheet. We'll be doing the Risen Star as our wagering guide. That's one of the first real big Kentucky Derby qualifiers. I think that one's a 30-point race, but I don't remember off the top of my head. And then, of course, at horseracingtoday.net, when the show is over, you head on over to that. In the middle of the page, you will see our picks and thoughts for today. Right there, you just click on that. That'll take you over to here, where you'll see all the ongoings. We also put the video over. And you're seeing more than you want to see right there. All right, Parx picks. You can watch the racing right there as well. There's really nothing else to kind of bring up here, Terry, as they finally make their way to the gate there.
Yeah, I can tell you that at Mahoning Valley in that first race, the top three horses ran first, second, and third. Actually, the third choice won the race. First choice ran second, and the third place horse was the one ran third. So the trifecta for 50 cents paid $46.25, and the exacta for $1 paid $21.30. So it was
that's all free.
Yeah, it was free. So
46 for 50 cents with the top three picks, Terry. That's a $6, right?
Yeah.
Or no, it's $3 for 50 cents.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So 3 turns into 45, Terry. Where can you turn 3 to 45 for free in a minute and a half?
Well, betting the horses.
Or crypto, maybe.
Yeah, maybe crypto.
Or some of those meme stocks. Remember those?
Yeah.
Yes. The American market getting shocked yesterday off of the Chinese chip, right?
Yeah, it really took a dump there.
Ginger is Sanchez. Watch out. All right. Well, let's find out what goes on here in race number 2 as they're about to get going. I'll tell you what I see. I can't show you on the screen what happens at Parx. I wish I could. I see other people who do it, and I don't know how the hell they get away with it, Terry. I would be locked up in like 5 minutes. We both would be sharing cells if we did that. We'd get notices from lawyers so fast that if we don't cease and desist, we're going to be sued for every dollar that ever existed. We'd be able to pay off the U.S. national debt with the amount they would threaten us with. So she's justified coming in from Selçuk Kamalugu Blue. I'm sorry, I know I messed that up, but that is one to keep a look out there. Let's see if indeed anybody is right on this. We got picks all over the place. We're still waiting on a couple of horses to get in. They're trying to get the 4 horse in. He's not entertaining the idea at the moment. They've opened the gate so we can see through. The 4 horse is having none of it, Terry, making it even longer. We could have did race number 7, I think, by now.
We could have, but that's all right.
You just don't know how fast all this stuff's going to go. We get started, and the next thing you know, they load up real quick, and we're like, oh, we missed it.
That's right.
So now they close the gate, and they're going to try to get the 4 in. You know what I don't understand is why one's struggling to get in, why they don't load the other ones.
I don't think they like them to stand in the gate. They get nervous standing in that gate sometimes.
Well, I mean, someone's got to go in the gate, right?
Yeah, but I think when they're standing there too long, some of them get nervous and start to move around, and they're afraid the jockey's going to get hurt or the handler. Yeah, I think that's part of why.
All right, let's see what we got cooking here. I think we got a couple more to go. The 12 and the 14, or maybe just the 14, and we'll be good. Hard to tell. Yeah, looks like they got the 14 in. This deep field for race number 2. They're about to get off and running as they have gone to the front view. And they are off and running, and everybody off to a pretty good solid start. A lot of horses really competing for the lead early on there. I'm interested to see what the fractions look like. The 9, Laugh Like Lucy. That one has dipped its nose out to the front. Neither one of us has that horse on the rail. The 1 horse, the first-time starter, getting engaged as well. The 12 is on the outside as they're running wide through the turn there. The 9 horse, somebody's backing up. The 12 horse is backing up already. The 1 horse actually ended up the first-time starter being the favorite. Right now, the 14 has darted to the lead. Up and Running is indeed up and running as they make their way through the turn in 23 and 12. Question is anybody going to run down this 14 to 1, 18 to 1, 14 horse? The one horse is moving up nicely on the outside. The jockey hasn't asked him to go just yet. Looks like the one horse is going to run right around this guy and make it a question of how far, not who wins. And jockey hasn't even asked that horse to run yet. He's just like getting the reins loosened up. So one horse is going to be your winner, going to win by a lot. The 14 horse is going to be your second place horse as it kind of gears down into and then the 5. So 1, 14, and 5. Butterby Quick, the first-time starter against a bunch of other horses that didn't hit par. It's a pretty strong angle. Unfortunately, it went down hard at the end on the odds. Let's do the late pick 4, Terry, starting in race number 7. That's where we're going to get going, pick things back up. Another race where maybe a first-time starter can factor if we have any. What's happening here?
All right. In the race 7, we're going to go at 6.5 furlongs, and it's a maiden race, $50,000 purse for maidens 3-year-olds.
6.5 furlongs. I remember I mentioned to either be on the front or be in the back. Don't be in the middle. And then the rail gets a bit of a discount for Olivia Mavis. 2 and 3 is the best place to be. It's not close. 4 through 7 is a tough spot. 8 and out has been fair so far in 2025. Terry, do we got any of them here in race number 7 that can get out to the front and stay there?
Well, that 7 and 4 have the most speed of everybody in here, and they could go head to head that quarter pole. The 5 has an overlay of 7 to 1, 10 to 1. The 11's overlay is 9 to 2 to 6 to 1. All but the 1 and 6 have par plus numbers, and the 1, 7, and 9 have the best C zones.
Race shape is going to tell us that, well, again, a bunch of horses that want to be at the back. 5 and 10, not been within 5 lengths of the leader. The 2 and the 3, Spooky Gale, Brilliant Disguise. Today is their first day at the track for real. 4 and 9, they want to be on the front. The 7, hey, a lone P, those can be dangerous. But we saw already in the simulations that the 7 is going to be up in the front. Maybe the 4 takes the lead because it might be more lead dependent than the 7. Looks like of those front runners, Spunderella, it's going to have to work a little bit harder on the outside than it might want to. As far as closers are concerned, Caravigio's song, that one, look at that late pace advantage there, Terry. About 3 lengths quicker than everybody else. That's that horse can get itself into contention. Look out. At the end of the race, our top total pace horse is the 7, Would Ya? Could Ya? And then there's that closer, Terry. Did you go speed? Did you closer? Or did you go somewhere else?
Well, I went with the 7, Woulda, Coulda. And she finished 3rd versus Tougher in her last race. Her best third speed is fast among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then I like the 9, Spunderella. She ran 2nd versus similar in her last race, has the highest last speed rating. And she has the highest, has a high percentage winning trainer jockey. Dadu.
What?
Dadu. 6. She my 3rd choice, finished in the money in 2 races out of her 3 career starts. She has a high percentage winning trainer, and she switched to a high percentage winning jockey. And then Mischief Maxi, the 4 is my long shot, finished 3rd versus similar in her last race. She has a high percentage winning trainer whose horses win 20% of the starts, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. And then I'm going to play the last pick 4, 6, 7, 9 with 2, 3, 5, 6 with 2, 3, 6, 10 with 2, 6, a $48 ticket.
We start off with the same exact, Terry. Would ya, could ya? That one is my top choice as well. That one maybe would ya, could ya. Might have some early speed. Gets Lasix. That usually is a good combination. But you know what else it gets today, Terry?
What does it get?
Paco.
Oh, Paco Lopez. Yeah, I'm glad he's back.
Number 9, Spunderella. Speed. First Lasix. 3rd start after layoff. Bunch of box checkers for me. Number 8, Carvigio Song. 2nd race improvement. And Kendrick. Maybe that's the Kendrick horse to watch out today, Scary. Brilliant Disguise, the 3 horse. That one is a top-rated first-timer. And again, none of the horses in this race have hit par so far. I wanted to put that one in my pick 4. I didn't. I'm probably going to regret it. 7, 8, 9, 3, 6, 2, 3, 8, and 10 with the 5, 6, 7, and 11. $48 to close out my final Don Johnson pick 4. 3 races to go for today, Terry. That means we're going to do race number 8 right about now, and another maiden in this festival of maidens today.
Yep. It's 1 mile and 70 yards, maiden $50,000 purse for maidens 3-year-olds.
Again, we've talked about 1 mile and 70 yards enough today that you could probably sing along. Early speed, 3rd, wire to wire, a little bit of a discount from late night call. 2 and 3 under par, 4 through 7 is the best place, 8 and out, a little bit of a discount. Terry, with these horses, some of them without not a lot of experience, but for those who do, who's going to get out quick?
Well, it looks like to me that 7 has the most speed, and it should get out to that quarter pole first. 3, the 1 may have something to say about it, but we'll have to wait and see. The 1 has an overlay from 4 to 1 to 6 to 1. The 3 has an overlay from 9 to 2 to 5 to 1. None of them have par plus numbers, and all but the 1 have C zone.
Maybe we can find something in here that'll tell us. Well, the 1, 2, 4, and 5. Yep. None of them have been closed. 6, 7 kind of middle forward. 3's wanted to close. So again, in this situation, get forward and you got a good shot. And it looks like the Master of Tweets is going to get out there. And then late night call will be right on its tail, along with Anything But Mine. See if that one can have a little bit more stay to itness at the end of the race for Master of Tweets. But Happily Delusional. That one has an 11-point, about a 2-length late pace advantage. It's going to be about 2 lengths off the lead, too. So it's going to be dependent on getting close in there. Very competitive racing here, Terry. You got all of these horses here within about a length of each other. So pretty open. A lot of different ways for these horses to get their first win. How does the 6 horse get its win, Terry? And I don't know what the hell happened to my screen, but it just disappeared.
Uh-oh. Happily Delusional. He ran second versus similar in his last race, and he has the highest last race speed rating. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, and Lasix is added. Just Cheesy is the 5, my second choice, finished 3rd versus similar in the last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Real Conviction finished 3rd versus similar in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and wins 28% of the races when taking a horse from a maiden claiming race to a maiden race, and has a high percentage winning jockey. My long shot is the 2, Encrypt. He finished 2nd versus in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 32% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me as I'm out of money.
I like the 6 horse in here as well, Terry. This one, as I take a look at the 6, Happily Delusional. Top last race speed figure was a handful of points clear of the next closest horse. This horse should really build on that. Second start after layoff and also catching that first Lasix should really put that horse in contention to be better today. Real Conviction, the 3 horse, my second choice in this one there, Terry, should be better in its second Parx race after coming up from Kentucky. So it's a second out track drop. Just Cheesy, the 5 horse, held its speed longer last out. All of the race internals were better, and so were some of the early fractions. And then the 4 horse, Anything But Mine, some early speed and fade last time out. Another one that has the opportunity to build on that with the second start after a layoff and a dose of Lasix, and is in the top 3 for C-Zone. Again, yesterday, Comfort Zone. If you're watching for the first time, we do some simulations. That's what all these numbers mean. And this is the likelihood or the percent chance the horse today will get a race that looks a lot like its best performances. So high probabilities there. Race 9 begins the late daily double, Terry, and you'll begin to tell us what they're going to put at stake here.
6.5 furlongs, another optional claiming race. $100,000 claiming price.
Yes, your zip code.
Yeah. Purse is $55,000 for 4-year-olds and upward. Allowance, optional claiming price of $100,000. So
if you're walking around with Terry's pocket change and you wanted to pick up a horse for 100 large today, right here, Paradise Valley, that would be one that you could put that money out, win the shake, and then Paradise Valley is yours to run at Parx Track next time around. So we talk about 6.5 furlongs favoring horses either on the front or horses that get from the, let me just make sure I got that right. Yes, some close, some get to the front. So really a lot of different ways to win in here, Terry. This one does look like it's competitive early on, but 2 horses might have a little bit of the edge over the rest when they get going.
Yeah, all but the 4 show speed, but the 10 and 3 have the most speed of all of them, and they could go head to head that quarter pole. The 4 has an overlay from 5-1 to 20-1. All of them show Par Plus, and all of them show CISO.
They also show that they have a particular look at all these horses here, Terry. The PC types, boy, they can be anywhere on the track. I equate it to an airplane, right? The E's want to pilot, EPs can pilot or co-pilot. The P's, they want to co-pilot. They don't necessarily want to be on the lead. The PC types are your flight attendants. They can really be anywhere on the track. Closers, they sit and coach. They try to sneak their way into first class. These guys, they're what do they call those people? On standby. They haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader. These folks are going to make their first run today. None of them in that category. As the race gets going, look at this, Terry. All these horses within 7 points, 8 points here. Very competitive early going, Terry. And then some of the speeds on the outside, you got to be careful not to get a wide trip. Spike zone will be coming hard at the end. Again, handful of horses in the very similar zip code as each other. You do find that when you add it all up, Spike zone is a 9-point total pace advantage. That horse, Terry, anytime they close in on 10, they have a great chance to win. We both think Spike zone will do that today.
That's right. He's won 2 races in a row, and he drops in class today, and he has a high percentage when he trainer and jockey. The 2 Paradise Valley second choice has won 4 races out of the last 6 starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. 10 Trader's Luck is the 3rd choice, has finished in the money in his last 9 races, won 3 of those, and has a high percentage winning jockey. The 6 Showstopper Copper is my long shot. He has won 3 races out of the last 4 starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No additional bets for me as I'm out of money.
Bump and Run on Scary Creations list of long shots to watch in there today. It says that horse has some back class. First time gelded. I got to imagine the horses are not happy about that. So you know that horse is going to run mad today out of fear of what might happen if he loses again. I'm going to go with the 3 horse too, Terry. That one looks like the most obvious choice in here. Spike zone. Top total pace, as we mentioned, clear of the field by more than a length. And if you look at its average race, I have and we'll be getting these available one of these days. If you look here in the speed chart, its average race, if you look, is better than most of the horses' peak races. So that's why I put that one on top. Paradise Valley. Guess who's riding Paradise Valley, Terry?
Paco Lopez.
And on a horse that likes himself some Parx. 6 times out of Parx, 4 of them ending up in the winner's circle, 1 of them ending up in the second place position, and does have a bullet workout, so should be ready for Paco to give it its best. Factor it in, the 8 horse. This one is the 3rd start after layoff. Going to sit behind a wall of speed and has some late race ability. And then finally, Trader's Luck, top last race speed figure, a handful of points better than everybody else. This one should be on the pace as well. It's got to be careful not to get stuck wide. If it can get to the front, it could go all the way. Before we go all the way to race number 10, Terry, again, we'll be back tomorrow for Gulfstream Park about 5 minutes before post, so probably around 12:15 p.m. Eastern, to make sure you don't miss our 2 days at Gulfstream Park or 4 and Friday at Shaw 10. Terry, what is the absolute must thing to do?
Well, everybody that's watching this show and haven't subscribed yet, you need to subscribe to YouTube channel. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. It's very easy to do. Then hit the bell. That'll tell you about all the different programs coming up. Go down and copy that link, share it with everybody you know so they can come and check us out. Go to our social sites such as X, Facebook.
Maybe we should start a new one, S.
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, at Horse Race, the number 2 day. You can give us a thumbs up and a like. That'll help us out a lot. And keep these comments and picks coming. It really is enjoyable to interact with our audience, and it helps us out too a great deal.
Yeah, in fact, we love to interact with our community. We love it too when you give us some other picks out there, some other ways to look at things. And the more we learn, the better we get. At least that's how it's supposed to go. I don't know that it always works out that way. I think half the races today are to mile and 70. By now you want to be forward. By now that horses that have on the rail get a little bit of a difficult trip. 2 and 3, they play under par 2. So it looks like you just don't want to be on the inside 3. If you're a Buffalo girl on the outside with some speed, you got a chance. And it looks like you got speed inside and you got speed outside, Terry.
That's right. One has most speed, or the one in the 11 has the most speed. So they could go head to head to the quarter pole. 7 has an overlay from, 9-2 to 12-1. The overlay on the 10 is 2-1 to 5-1. 11 has an overlay from 9-2 to 6-1. All but the 8 have par plus numbers, and all of them have C zones.
Again, for those who are joining us for the first time and you wonder what the hell is this par plus stuff? Well, what we look at here is, according to the folks at Brisnet, the average winning speed figure for today's conditions on race number 10 is 81. And we do our 1,000 simulations, and you see here that 465 times, or 46.5% of the time, exit right. It's a speed figure of at least 81 when we do our simulations. We also do what they call trip handicapping. These guys want to be on the lead. These want to pressure. So your co-pilots, that's 6 horse, Terry. That one is exceptionally dangerous as a lone PC type. Anytime you get a lone PC or a lone EP, no matter what they look like on paper, give them some extra consideration. A couple of closers in here. Again, most of the field middle back. So speed is the way to win. Speed might be the way to win here. Mega Charlie is the fastest, but it's on the outside. Plenty of similar speed to its inside. So Mega Charlie got to be careful not to get caught wide through that turn. Number 10, trending up, will be trending the fastest at the end, although We Be There should have similar late speed. And ahead of the 10 on the track, as we look at our top total pace horses again, top 4 usually produces the winner. Look at this race, Terry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 horses within 7 points. Don't get bumped. Don't get wide. Don't get blocked, or you might not have a chance to win. Who has the best chance to get it done today, Terry?
Well, I like the 6 exit right. He likes Parx racing. He's been in the money 84% of the time here. He's won 44% of those starts. The distance is something he likes okay. He's been in the money 77% of the time. He's won 46% of the starts. Dr. Doom, the 2, is the second choice, ran second versus similar in his last race. He has a high percentage winning jockey. The 3, Long Gray Line, is the third choice, finished third versus similar in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. The 5, We Will Be There, is his long shot. He has won 19% of his races at Parx Racing, and he has a high percentage winning trainer, switches to high percentage winning jockey. No bets for me, as I'm out of money.
I'm going to go with that 7 horse, Terry. One that's not on your list. I don't know if that's good, bad, or otherwise, but Mucho Macho Eddie was really good last time out relative to everybody else. Its top last race speed figure was 11 points. That one has to come down a lot. The rest of these have to come up a lot. And it's done 3 consecutive speed figure increases to boot. So you got 2 very strong speed figure angles on that 7 horse. Maybe it doesn't win, but should definitely factor in today. Exit right. Well, Jamie Ness, Ruben Silvera, they always factor in at Parx. This one loves to win at that track. And, of course, coming off the bench for Jamie Ness. Number 11, Mega Charlie, finished second. The last time, who rode him, Terry?
Probably Paco.
Paco. It was actually his best race in the last 10, the only time Paco got on. So they're hoping to rekindle that magic today. And Paco will put him in a good place to finish it out. And then We Be There. Trainer Irving Rodriguez, so far in 2025, has had 8 horses that switched barns. Didn't get claimed, but somebody said, you know what? I don't like this trainer. I want to give Irving my horse. Let him do it. 5 of those 8 great decisions as those horses ended up in the winner's circle. Again, no additional bets for me as well. Here are the full scale of our picks today. In race number 1, who won the first race, Terry?
Number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah.
The 1 horse won race number 2. So I guess the trend today is just bet the 1 horses all the way down. We've seen plenty of people do those in those contests and find their way into a championship.
Yep.
But here's what we see for the rest of the day. Again, Mahoning Valley, free track, a guaranteed tip sheet, off to a great start. $3 trifecta box using the top 3 picks, paid over $45. You can find links to that wherever you are. Over on horseracingtoday.net in just a few minutes, we'll post our picks as well as a replay of the show. On YouTube, we will timestamp every race so you can come back to see why Terry likes the one horse in race number 6 as his best bet of the day. Any final thoughts from you before we part ways, Terry?
Yeah, just stay safe and have a great day and a great rest of the week. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. We'll be back for Hump Day with Hollywood Hay at Gulfstream Park on that day. But for the rest of this day, we certainly hope you have God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing that you do ends up in the
winner circle.
Yes, indeed. We'll see you in sunny, warm Florida mañana.